I'm just gonna mark out the time period now, right? We have another couple of candles till New York closes, and then we'll look for trades. This is where New York ends, and let's mark. Yeah, this is where London close should start. Let's see. So the plan right now is to look for a short based on today. We've had movement in Asia, right? And then we've ranged between Asia's end and London. We've took liquidity to the downside, and then we've gone up. During London, we pumped, and then the usual manipulation, London manipulation, and then we pumped heading into the end of London. Here's another range. So we took liquidity here, and then we came back down, took the stops of the people who were too greedy, and we came back up. So I've already DCA'd a short here. I'm sure there's gonna be another one, but I did that just because there was a lot of exhaustion. So let's just say the entry was somewhere around here. But overall, New York was up, so you'd look for even if we go down a bit right now here, you'd look for a bit more upside from where we are in New York before going to short. Never mind. But yeah, I still don't think we're gonna go down more from here. There should be a range before we do go down. We can argue that it was this, but it's not in our time yet. And if it's not in our time, we don't take the trade. Let me just remove this since none of you guys were here when I took it. But yeah, if we go on a bit of a higher time frame, we can see where the volume is. And clearly, we've rejected off this starting. Let's draw a line. So off this. So let's establish that. That. So these would ideally be our this one here, and maybe let's say the peak or a bit here around 23,800. So these are the levels that I would ideally want to get into a short, because yeah, so basically we've swept all the volume here for this today's highest point. We've taken it, and we're looking for a formation of Friday high right now. And to add more confluence, this is also like a level 1 2 3. Let's mark it out. That's 1 2, and let's say this is 3. And as I've told you guys last time, that like how we usually reverse is this the BART thing. So you would look for like yes, something like this basically. Maybe this is just a more glorified version of that. But I still do believe this is all a hoax, and we're gonna have more opportunities to get in. I definitely think we will. And there's a lot of sell pressure here as well, if you can see it. Quite a bit of sell pressure here, and that is because it touched our first level. We just need whatever is happening right now to hold above this level basically, and then our theory is validated. We just need a higher low, basically. And why I think we do need to short today, like for a scalp at least, is because the entire day has been up. Market structure, if you observe, like the day's market structure has shifted from down to up now, and we've left quite a bit of fair value gaps here as well at every level where we've pumped. So I think we had a similar situation the last time we streamed, which was last Friday, I believe. Let's go back to that if I can find it. So last Friday would be 15th. Yeah, this one. So this is where we streamed last time. And in this case too, we went up quite a bit, and we still have liquidity over here that and gaps here that haven't been taken. So let's see how it plays out. But it was a similar situation. And we are consistently holding above the weekly levels, so this is quite a bullish week. And how much ever exhaustion we get, we seem to just be going up. Let's see how it plays out. So now that I've told you guys the bias and what I'm looking for, yeah, I told you guys it would just be manipulation here. Like, you cannot trust anything before this point. Before this point, even if BTC goes to 0, just assume it's going to come back up. 1 sec, be right back. And also notice how the pre-New York range and early New York range, there was only sweeps to the upside but never to the downside. So this is all buying pressure that you see over here. All these wicks are huge buy orders, and they've been rewarded. So what we're looking for during this time is sell pressure from, let's say, whoever bought here. It's always the big ones who are moving the market, right? So you'd look for people who bought here and are selling at our levels so that we have more confluence for a trade. And liquidity left here will always be taken, because it's not just them who get in, and they can't let everybody win. It's a lot of volume here. So yeah, so someone wanted to see the go charting page. It's not really the hardest thing to read. I'm not perfect at it myself, I'm learning, but basically all you need is you need to make sure you're on the 30 minutes. You have to have your settings right. So what I'm doing right now is studying periods like Dean does. You see, all of these represent a different part of the 30 minutes over here. So what, like, ideally what you need is just the POCs and poor lows. You have to watch out for the poor lows and highs that form, because they tend to be like, market makers do come back for them. But you just need this interface basically. And you can add confluence here, and you can see that there's a POC here, and there's all yesterday's POC is also like lower than where we are right now. So, and we did touch this POC from the pump before, and we've rejected off of it, which is a good sign for us. So let's see where things are headed. I do think there's a downside, but you know how it goes. Can't be sure. So this would be the last candle in New York before we start hunting for trades. Let's see. But so far, New York is properly up, because there's a higher high and a higher low. And there is more buying pressure here, and you pretty much filled this fair value gap. So it could be just a foreplay for big pumps over here before we get our short in. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, I do think we're gonna have more upside too. Our zones that we marked out are based on the TPO chart that I just showed you guys, those POCs, and this 3-day fixed range volume. So it's pretty much pre-Asia of 19th to today, and there's a crap ton of volume in all the levels we have. So ideally you'd look to we've already touched one level. I had TCA'd a short. I'm still in it, but the ideal entry is probably this one and this one. Around 23.8 is the maximum I think we're gonna go, because they also need to build up liquidity below this. As you see, there's not too much of liquidity either above it, so there's a clear path for them to take it up. But for it to be worthwhile to them, they cannot only have up moves. Like if you go on the daily and you track any of these moves, basically, since this point, it's not that they couldn't have just dumped it all the way to hell, but it is crucial for them to build liquidity on their way, take liquidity on both sides, and make sure that they're paying themselves and not everybody, because yeah, they can't afford to pay everybody, right? So that's why you see a lot of these sweeps both ways and manipulation, all sorts of things. And every time they've dumped us, I don't know if you remember, but I've actually posted about this thing and us. Basically, I've been telling you guys that we're gonna go up since this point. I don't know if you remember. So we did take the POC, like a crap ton of volume here. So in theory, there's not much volume till 27.5k, but it's too high of a time frame to consider any confluence with our scalps, because we're in and out by the end of 1 hour max. Where and it's not something that's written in stone that we have to go down, but let me just mark out these equal highs here. This is all foreshadowing for a pump, like during our time, our set period of time. I think at the very least we'll hit this area of interest again. Let's see. This is all buying pressure everywhere. One sec. Yeah, so basically, since New York is up, and what we've observed in the past is the direction of New York, there's usually a irrational, like crazy move in the direction of New York before they do dump it again. Because just imagine all this selling pressure. There's a lot of people whose shorts are being paid right now, like, so they cannot afford to do that because they're dealing both the longs and the shorts. Every time you long or short, there has to be on the other side somebody counter trading you. Yeah, so let's see. This is all good buying pressure. My heart makes me wanted to long this, but my brain keeps saying no, and to stick to our strategy. So yeah, we thought it would get swept, and it did. Oh, let's see. So this is all just foreshadowing for the extreme manipulation between here and here. So anything that is before or after this doesn't really matter to us, because we're in and out by like the start and the end of this. It's a 1 hour window. I don't think this one is gonna get hit either, but I really want to see this level revisited, and this one. This one, I think this 100% gonna revisit this. And even when we do pump up, you don't start to short until you see signs of weaknesses, because nothing is written in stone and nothing is guaranteed here. So until what I'd say as a sign of weakness, for example, you were short here, right? And these are signs of weaknesses for the short, because there's buying pressure here. So you close your short here. So you'd look for something similar, except once it goes up, and you want to see wicks like here and then the bodies here and stuff like that before you do enter your shot. I'm pretty sure I'm recording this. Yeah. So I'll post this one later too. So if anybody's missed it, you guys can watch. I would start to DCA a small shot at these level, guys. So let me type it out in trades if I can. What's this? It's 23,690 to 23,800. Let's see. This is looking really good though. So there seems to be a lot of selling pressure around this area, but you have to understand that uh, they do know more than the us, and they probably got in here, and yeah, there's people still getting in here. So you'd want to see all of these people finished, like punished, and their stops taken before we do anything. For those of you who just joined, these three are the levels I'm looking to short if it goes our way, that is. Yeah, now you should see some volatility kicking in. Let's see. So in the meantime, while things here play out, uh, I'm gonna look at ETH. It's been a while. Let's see. Where's ETH? Oof. I don't really know what to make of this. I mean, obviously it will follow BTC's direction, but damn. Yeah, it's looking primed for a short too. There's all the telltale signs of short. There's a level 3 formation. This is the third level, and there's heavy exhaustion on the third level. So all of these gaps that they leave are unhealthy, and they do come back for them. I wonder what time it took. It's 17 hours, and this is what. Yeah, your theory should be confirmed around this time. So if it does go down, I do expect quite a bit of volatility here before we do, because we are looking for the BAT. Let's go back to BTC. Nothing too interesting going on, but yeah, So it's a test of patience. Yesterday was insane. Like, none of us had any idea what was going on and shit, but we somehow, I don't know how, we managed to get this trade in and close it on this week before it died. After this experience, I'm not that keen on trading kill zones on midweek reversals. It looks like maybe we're gonna get what we wanted finally. So I'd say DC a small position over here and then keep building it. Let's see what invalidation for this would be. Maybe if you broke, yeah, maybe if you broke this whole chunk of volume, that's when I'd give up. You'd be down a bit, to be fair. Let's see how much. Let's say you got in here and you, yeah, you'd be down about 10% if that happens. Mm, Let me know what you guys were thinking as well. Like, were you gonna trade this and was it gonna be a short too? I think Waffles and I spoke earlier and we agreed it was a short. He shared some sort of daily range thing. I think it was something along the lines where if Asia shows direction and then London reverses against that and you see another reversal during New York or something along those lines. Still nothing out of the ordinary yet. Like, even if we dump from here and what we wanted plays out, it's better to have not taken that trade because it's an indisciplined trade. It's nothing more than a gamble. So I shorted this one exactly. I don't suggest you guys to take shots below this one. I don't think this is the real move though. This always happens. We tend to form a range and then we range in between that before finally doing something. Yeah, can't trust this shit, bro. So the entire thing over there was to stop out longs. So there's people who got in all this fiasco and this weekend when it came back down. It's to grab their stops. And that is why our strategy of, yeah, you guys should DCA some here. So we've tapped this level twice. Yeah, I think we're gonna go farther up because now we have equal highs here, which should get swept. Uh, Let me just yeah, these should get swept, and when these do get swept, I'll add a bit to my short. So I'm currently break even from when I first shorted. I should have taken profit, but yeah, this also seems a bit far fetched. But I think we should cross 23,700 at least. This is going the way we wanted, but there's no proper signs of any selling pressure as of now. Like, there's nothing screaming. In fact, it just screams I'm gonna go higher because of these equal highs. But either ways, this whole this zone is a good place to start building a short in case it goes our way. And most of these, like you see the huge wicks and then the bodies, the manipulation, the whole candle itself, where if we go to a lower time frame, tends to be a range, and then during the last couple of minutes of that candle, the thing happens. Hmm. It's good that we have our foot in the game, but yeah, let's see. I hope you guys got in and shit. Mm, yeah. So if you feel really anxious looking at these candles and you find yourself constantly staring at your trade and shit, just wait for the candle closes. And as for where I'd take profit, I guess, uh, let's see. This isn't enough movement to really take profit. Let's see how much that is. It's like 3%, which isn't really much. I think like here is where I would first consider taking it. But taking it in itself is a risk because there's so much like gaps here and liquidity. All this like people who bought here, you have to understand that those are the same people who are gonna sell here. But in this area, I would take like just a little bit in case things. It's always good to de-risk. Like what I usually do is I calculate like how much potentially I could lose, and if my take profit in a DCA, I just take that much out because then even if I get stopped out or anything, I'd still be break even. The worst part about it is this may just end up being a giant wick as well. So you guys did short with me here, right? After I told you like 20 times probably. Just take some profit here just to be safe. If it keeps going, if it keeps going down, we might as well long it. If all this buying pressure is cleared, oh shit, jeez. Okay, we're up a bit. God damn. Yeah, I'm closing another 50%. God damn. I pray you guys got in. Jeez. I didn't expect it to Play out this soon though. If you guys are in, just close a bit. Can't complain. That's so fucking much. Let's see how much that is. That's pretty much like 10%. Holy fuck. Fucking explains it. Let me show you what we've missed in all this confusion. This, we did get a BART over here. Look, just the first peak, second peak higher, third peak, and then we just dumped. That was a hard read, bro. Not gonna lie. There seems to be buying pressure here as well. Let's go look at, yeah, it's started to touch the volume over here. Let's look at the bigger volume profile. Let's see. Yeah. If let's see. If we go to this POC, we might as well try along, right? If we go to this POC, that is. So we've basically barely tapped the volume here, so it shows you how much fucking money is in this in this range. Basically, that's the importance of ranges. So let's just mark it out. I'll put in a long at the POC, but until then, I think like shorting is still a better option because yeah, and there is also equal highs over here. So if you look at this range, it kind of shows you what I am thinking, because there's a range, there's a sweep in the direction of where it's eventually going to go. So you trap people here, right? So in this case, it would be to trap shorters here before heading back to our range and then going this way anyways. So go down anyways. It's too early to say anything for certain because we haven't hit our threshold yet. But even if we do it and there's not much that has happened, we've made at least like 5% even if you got a shitty entry. You guys really should have gotten in. I marked this level out before it was hit and told you guys. I don't think, doesn't look like it's gonna go any lower. At least we get to pat ourselves on the back for, even if it's like just the first TCA, it's been touched 2 times. So let's say we put in like a really small position, we've still have something, and we got the direction right. So anything that isn't losing money is a winner. That is fucking unfortunate though. I really wish we would have hit this level. Maybe we still will. There's just so much fun. Holy shit. Not complaining. I will close the trade completely if we get to 10%. So basically, yeah, this is our, yeah. I don't think it's worth it. Why risk it? Like, So you've touched the previous day high. Seems to be reacting all right. Maybe a long is the move. Who knows? Yeah, fuck it. I'm longing. I'm putting in a. I'm closing my short and putting in a small long position. We long. Yeah, I'm putting in a really small long. So you're reacting to this liquidity here. Perhaps this would be the big move. I will close the long if we like end up losing this chunk of liquidity, because then it's just you might as well fill this gap and get the liquidity there. Let's see what the bigger point. Yeah, we are at a bigger, like on a higher time frame. This is a key level of volume. I've put in a small long position here. Let's just. I don't know if it's worth the risk to you guys, but since we got in here, I'm just longing with the profits at this point. Like, I don't care if it gets liquidated. So if this long does end up playing out, I just close it. Maybe at the bottom of our previous range. That'd be a good place to close it. We closed the short here. We longed the POC. Let's say we're gonna close it here. It's a good thing these are in equal lows too. So if we revisit, so any place in this blob would be a good place to get into a long if you're interested. Yeah, but if you did get in with me on this again, just close some here. These trades are getting more confusing by the day. Like yesterday, it was off the hook, and today it doesn't seem to be much better either. So apparently there's some 1 minute 1 minute lows. Let's. Oh yeah. Ah shit. So we have highs and we have lows. This is pretty much gambling at this point. Yeah, but I'll might as well just close the long. I think there will be one more opportunity to get into a long. It's kind of confusing because there's no signs of exhaustion either. Like, you just have to take a shot in the dark. This is done too. I've closed my long. Now there's still nothing screaming to me like it's gonna go either ways. There's equal highs, there's equal lows, there's liquidity on both sides. I am not gonna take anything until there's some proper signs of whatever. So far we took two trades and both hit TP though. I don't think these are exactly equal. Uh, there isn't a proper direction to this either. Like you can't base London close off anything yet. If we go back up and pump and go to our original this levels, I'd still look for a short. It didn't seem like that over here, but uh, no, it's not safe to place a long at the equal lows because it's guaranteed that it's basically like guaranteed that they'll get swept. So why would you long that? And then again, like not every day is a perfect day to trade and shit. shit is all over the place. Conventionally, you can maybe call this a heads and shoulders and get into a long, but I don't know how that would play out. I wouldn't really suggest it. If I had to bet though, I think I think our original plan is still right, and it's probably sell pressure and he will go lower. Still looking for these levels though. Would have been ideal if not just this one, but maybe this would have gotten hit before we ended up dumping. That would have been perfect, but nothing we can do. We only have about another 20 minutes till we got to stop. If we don't get anything, I might stay for London close and we'll see if we can get something in that at least. It's tempting to short over here, but it's not such a good idea. We already paid ourselves for the short. Doesn't make much sense to get in again at a worse entry than we did had before. So it's risking for what? Nothing. Let's see how ETH is doing. Yeah, pretty much. ETH is showing some signs of exhaustion at least. At the that's a good sign. There's just nothing on BTC, like no reaction here either. Let's take this off. The higher time frames say that should be a bit of a correction. The stock is a bit too high, and the VWAP starting to curl. Looks like we may get the entry again. If we sweep these highs, I'm gonna put in another shot. The crazy thing is none of this is still indicative of that. There's nothing like screaming to my face short or long still. You have to watch for this POC. Our intuition to long here was correct, but let's see. Yeah, you swept the highs. I'm putting in another shot. We might hit our second level too. That's really good. So I'm shorting again. I think we should see. Let's see. Nope, still nothing. But I did place a shot. Our second level is hit, so that's a good sign. Depends on your risk tolerance, but some here basically at all points of volumes, and then maybe fully at the POC where we longed earlier. That would be ideal, but I'd start like the safest bet is to close some here just to de-risk. But that's a fucking snipe. Jesus. Yeah, we're up. I'm gonna close 25% here to de-risk. I think it's gonna go down, and finally maybe like on a sweep of these equal lows, you just close it. There is potential for it to go much lower to maybe daily open and below, but it's not really in our scope. But inwards, basically start TPing some here on this node POC, and then the sweep of the lows. And this is so actually, did you guys get in this time? Let me know if you got in. This shit is always so stressful, bro. Like, again, I've changed my bias like 20 times, but profit on all three. Can't complain. On a touch of this POC, it close some more. Yeah, fuck. Looks like it's straight up going for those equal lows. Still sticking to plan. I closed 50% at the POC and I'll close the rest once we sweep the lows. That is fucking insane though. Like, just that is like 13% from where we got in. And our time, the time period is also coming to an end. So even if we don't sweep these, I'll close the trade on the next candle. It's becoming a repetitive thing for direction to be right, but there's usually a bait trade first. Like, we fell for it last time too. There's a smaller trade, and I think I explained it to you guys like 5 minutes, 5 6 minutes ago. I showed you guys the range and said it the same thing was gonna happen, but towards the downside. So here you would take liquidity here, and then you would go back, take out the stops, and go back in the direction where you took liquidity. So that's pretty much what happened. How did I get out into that one? That's good, bro. It's nice to know you guys got into. It's not too bad of an idea to start going a bit higher on my leverage since I'm gaining a bit of confidence. But yeah, I thought I'd have to stay for London close since we didn't really get anything. But like what we've been planning since the second we started to stream happened. You just have to be patient, I guess. Yeah, so I'm done trading for the day. I think that's. I think I've made 3% on the account today. That's nice. And if you've made profit with this trade or with the stream, just post it in the profits page. That'd be nice. We can keep track as well.